What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another full workout vlog. Today my dog's begging me for my food. No, today we're going to be hitting biceps and shoulders, and as always I'm going to go over the pre and post workout meals with you, give you the macros for those so you have some sort of idea of what it's like eating in a 25% caloric deficit as I'm moving into these summer months. I'm also going to explain in detail how to execute these movements that I'm doing, why exactly I'm doing them, and any tips or tricks or cues that I have to help you feel that mind-muscle connection better with those movements. Today we're shooting at the gym that has the private PT room, which is where I shoot a lot of my workouts, you know, the ones with the black background. And coincidentally, they only really have dumbbells and barbells in there. So a lot of the workouts that I do in that room can be done at home if you have that sort of limited equipment and a bench. So I'm gonna finish eating this meal. I'll throw the macros up on the screen. It is a steak and rice bowl, which is my go-to right now. I don't mind eating the same thing every day for lunch. That's not a problem for me. I know that isn't the case for everyone, but it is around 225 grams of steak. It's lean top sirloin, and then I have the white jasmine rice from Trader Joe's, and if you haven't had that yet, you have to pick it up. It is by far the best like microwavable rice that I've ever had. And we've got 150 grams of that. So 250 grams of top sirloin, 150 grams of white rice. I'm also gonna have a banana with this just to get my carbs up. You should have about 1 gram of carbs for every kilogram of body weight going into your workout. So that pre-workout meal, those carbs are going to be what fuels your workout. So if you're not hitting that metric, then you could have more energy and more intensity in the gym. And if you're finding out that that's true for you, it could be because you're not eating enough carbs pre-workout. All right, so I'm going to eat this, give it about an hour to an hour and a half, and then head to the gym. Okay, we made it to the gym, and for the sake of our shoulders, the love of our shoulders and our rotator cuffs, we're going to do some sort of dynamic warm-up here with the band. We're going to start with banded pull-throughs. We're going to take a wider grip here on the band with our arms hanging down to our side. From there, keeping your arms straight the entire time, we're going to lift our hands up and over our head. Be sure that your arms never bend. Come down to the glutes here on the backside, and then repeat that back to the front. It's so important to warm up your shoulders. Not only is it going to prevent injury, but it's also going to help optimize your performance in the gym. So if you're not doing these, prioritize these on your chest and shoulder days. Next, I'm going to step on the band here and hit some external rotation at that 90-degree angle. So grab a hold of the band there with your elbow and shoulder in alignment, having that 90-degree angle off your body. We're going to rotate straight up. Now, if you hear some crackling and popping during this, don't worry, it's totally normal. This is going to help you get warmed up and help, again, eliminate injuries moving forward. So I'll hit both the pull-throughs and the external rotation 3 times each before moving into a starting weight, a lighter weight on our first compound movement. And that movement is an overhead barbell press. For these, I like to set the collars up on the outside of the rack here, just about shoulder height. I find this is the easiest to get in and out of when you're doing these overhead presses. We're going to take a grip just outside of shoulder width here on the barbell. Okay, step out, and with your core braced and a slight bend in your knees, we're going to press straight up. Now, to ensure that the barbell path is straight, we're going to have to move our head a little bit. So you can see as I'm starting with my head back. And as I press up and start to clear my head, I lean forward and bring my head forward. That's going to make sure that that bar path is straight and help target your delts most effectively. Slowly and under control, lower the weight back down. Now, don't forget to breathe on this and every other movement that we're doing here. Deep breath in on the eccentric. Hold that breath for a second as you start to press. As you get to the top of that press, you're going to exhale, and then repeat that process for each rep and for each movement that you're doing. Okay, next up, we're going to target our side delts with a standing Y raise. Grab a couple dumbbells here. We're going to start with them resting on our quads here. Again, brace your core, slight bend in your knees. Have a good base. And from here, we're going to raise our arms up in a Y shape. I like to go slightly above parallel on these, and I also sort of twist my wrist downward at the top of the movement. It's super important that you lower the weight slowly and under control for these. Once those dumbbells get back down to your quads, we're going to start the next rep. A couple cues here. If you're not feeling it, you need to lower the weight. If you struggle with that mind-muscle connection in general with your side delts, what I would do for your first warm-up set is to go super light, 10, 15-pound dumbbells, really perfect the form, and then just get as many reps as you can, somewhere in that 15 to 25 rep range. That's going to help you feel it in your side delts. It's also going to help push some of the blood directly to those side delts before you start your working sets. We're going to do 3 sets of these in the 8 to 12 rep range. Okay, we're going to continue to hit our side delts with a leaning dumbbell lateral raise. For these, I'm going to set up on an incline bench somewhere between a 30 and 45 degree angle. I'm going to bring my knees up onto that seat platform, and with the dumbbell on my leg, on my side here, I'm going to lift my arms straight up, just like you would a normal lateral raise. Now, the range of motion is a bit more limited here, but the whole point of this movement is to hit the top range. You're anchored into the seat here, and it makes cheating on these almost impossible. So chances are you're going to have to go lower with the weight. As you bring your arm back down, stop just before you touch your side. That's going to make sure that tension stays on your side delts the entire time. One helpful cue here, if you think about drawing an arc with the dumbbell from your side to the top of the movement and sweeping that weight away from you and up, that's really going to help with that mind-muscle connection. Again, go lower with the weight here. Keep tension on your side delt the entire time by not resting your arm or letting it come down to your side completely. We're going to hit 3 sets of these in the 12 to 15 rep range. Okay, next up, we're going to target our rear delts. These are some of the most underdeveloped muscles on bodybuilders and just people in general across the board. And if you want to build bigger 3D delts, you really have to focus on hitting and getting enough volume for your rear delts. For these, we're going to do a rear delt fly with dumbbells. We're going to set up seated at a bench and bend over, so our upper body is not quite parallel with the floor, maybe just above parallel with the floor. Take an overhand grip on the dumbbells, bring them together so the tops touch underneath your legs. And from here, we're going to fly backwards. Really focus on driving with your palms out away from you and really exaggerate that fly backwards with your rear delts at the top of the movement. Slowly and controlled, lower the weight back down. Make sure you feel that stretch on your rear delts at the bottom, and make sure there's still tension at the bottom when you start the next rep. Looking at the side angle here, you can see that I'm not flying straight up, that I'm actually flying sort of backwards away from my body at a slight angle. And you need to do this. This is going to help target your rear delts a bit better. 3 sets of these at 10 to 12 reps. So we hit our front delts with the overhead press. A lot of people think that you get enough front delt work from, shoulder overhead presses, any heavy pressing that you're doing on chest day, like incline presses. But I really feel like you need to supplement that with another isolated movement. So we're going to do a seated dumbbell alternating front raise. We're going to have a neutral grip on the dumbbells here as we start. From here, we're going to raise one arm up out in front of us. You can see as I'm raising my arm up here, I'm slightly twisting my wrist from more of a neutral grip position to more of an overhand grip position. We're going to control the descent here on that working arm before we start the next rep on our opposite arm. Pick a weight that challenges you here, but not one that's going to break down your form. We're going to do 3 sets of these at 8 to 10 reps. Moving on from shoulders to biceps here, we're going to start with a standing dumbbell curl. Now this is pretty basic, it's pretty standard, but it is super effective. So standing again with your core braced, slight bend in your knees. Make sure you have a good base here. With your palms open, taking an underhand grip on those dumbbells, we're going to curl the weight up in an arc until we reach just about shoulder height. As we lower the weight back down, again, think about lowering the weight down in an arc away from your body. That's because the further the dumbbells are away from your body, the more tension you're going to have on your biceps. It's really important that you understand this, knowing that the further they are away from you, lowering in that arc, that's going to put more tension on your biceps. Knowing that's going to help you more effectively target and feel that mind-muscle connection with your biceps. Now on the eccentric here, don't lock out your arms completely at the bottom. You want to get close to completely locked out, but just shy of it so you keep tension again on those biceps before starting the next rep. We're going to do 4 sets of these at 8 to 10 reps. Next up, we're going to target our brachialis. We're also going to get some forearm activation from this movement as well. And that's the standing KB hammer curl. I really like doing hammer curls with the KB here. And as you can see, When my arm is at a 90-degree angle as I'm performing these, look how far the bulk of the kettlebell weight is away from that elbow joint. That's going to maximize tension on the brachialis and the forearm while we do these. Now everything else should be stationary here outside of your elbow joint. So from your shoulder to your elbow, that should be pretty much stationary. You shouldn't see any movement there. And as you curl, just stare at the outside of your arm here where the brachialis is and really exaggerate that squeeze at the top of the movement. 3 sets of these at 8 to 10 reps each side. Okay, next up, we're going to hammer out some 21s as a finisher for our biceps. Now you're going to have to go lighter with the weight here. Obviously, we're doing 21 reps. So I'm just going to use the 45-pound barbell here. Same thing here, brace your core, have your elbows locked in at your side. Take that underhand grip on the barbell just outside of shoulder width. And from here, we're going to do 7 bottom half reps. Once we complete those, we're going to curl all the way up to the top. And from that top position, we're going to lower the barbell down halfway. Do 7 of those top half reps. And from there, after you finish the 7th rep, lower your arms all the way down. And we're going to do 7 full curl reps here. These things suck, but push through it. Squeeze out those reps. And I promise you, your arm's going to be ballooning as you leave the gym. And that's going to do it. It's a very simple but effective shoulder and bicep workout day. Now I'm going to go hit the stair stepper for around 25 minutes. I'll see you at home for our post-workout meal. All right, so that was a great session. Back at the house, I'm going to have my post-workout meal, which it's Saturday, so I'm going to treat myself. I got a salmon roll here. I'm going to eat some sushi. I'll throw the macros up for that, although I'm probably going to add a shake to this as well just to help knock off some more of my protein and get closer to my protein intake needs for the day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or thought it was helpful in any way, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be putting out these workout videos bi-weekly, so stay tuned for more.